What if history had taken a different turn? What if, in 1945, instead of the world celebrating the end of the war, a very different flag was flying over Europe? Today, let's imagine a world where Germany won the Second World War. It's a dark thought, but understanding why it's dark tells us a lot about the world we actually got. First, let's set the stage. For Germany to win, a lot would have had to go differently. Maybe they don't invade the Soviet Union when they did. Maybe Britain makes peace. There's no single switch, but let's just say the dust settles, and Germany controls most of Europe. So what does that Europe look like? Probably not a happy place. The Nazi vision wasn't peace and prosperity for everyone. It was a brutal hierarchy. Entire populations were meant to be enslaved, deported, or worse. The horrors that already happened during the war, they wouldn't have stopped. They would have expanded. Cities across Eastern Europe might have been emptied and resettled. The plan, called General Plan Ost, literally imagined removing tens of millions of people to make room. This isn't speculation about technology. It's the grim reality their leadership wrote down. Okay, let's pivot to the part everyone's curious about. Technology. Germany was genuinely ahead in some areas. Rockets, jet engines, certain chemistry. So you might think, wow, a German-run world would be super advanced. But here's the twist. Technology doesn't thrive under that kind of regime. Real innovation needs lots of people, freely sharing ideas, disagreeing, experimenting. The Nazis chased out or murdered huge numbers of their best minds, including many of the scientists who later built the computer age and split the atom elsewhere. Think about it. Einstein left. Countless brilliant physicists, chemists, mathematicians, and engineers fled Europe. A lot of them ended up in America and Britain. In our timeline, that brain drain supercharged the winning side. In a Nazi victory world, that talent is gone, dead or scattered, and it's not coming back. So would we have computers? Probably eventually, but maybe slower, clunkier, and locked away for military use. The internet, as we know it, grew out of open universities and a culture of sharing. A paranoid, controlling state doesn't build an open internet. It builds surveillance. And that's maybe the biggest technological development of this dark timeline. Not flying cars, but total surveillance. The Nazi state was obsessed with control. Combine that obsession with cameras, microphones, and computers, and you don't get convenience. You get a world where the government watches everything you do. What about daily life? For the people deemed acceptable by the regime, life might look superficially normal, but joyless. No free press, no free elections, no saying the wrong thing at dinner. Art, music, science, all bent to serve the state. The vibrant, messy, creative culture we take for granted. Crushed. On the world stage, it likely wouldn't even be peaceful. Victorious powers tend to turn on each other. A Nazi empire and, say, a still-standing United States, or a surviving Soviet Union, would probably settle into a tense, terrifying Cold War, except this one with even fewer guardrails and nuclear weapons. In our world, the fear of Hitler getting the bomb is exactly what pushed Allied scientists to build it first. Flip the timeline, and the question of who gets that power becomes a nightmare. A regime that already showed it would do the unthinkable, holding the most destructive weapon ever made. Now, would it last forever? History suggests empires built on fear and oppression tend to rot from the inside. Economies built on slavery and conquest aren't stable. So maybe, over decades, it cracks. But the human cost in the meantime would be almost unimaginable. So here's the takeaway. We sometimes imagine alternate histories as fun what-ifs, but this one's a reminder of how much was actually at stake. The world we live in, messy, free, connected, imperfect, exists partly because that other world didn't happen. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this little trip down the road not taken, hit subscribe and let me know in the comments which what if I should explore next. See you in the next one.